Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the buzz on the internet and that Richard Hart is wanted by Finland through this Interpol website. And it talks about aggravated tax fraud and assault. So we're going to dive into that and what all this means as far as PulseChain. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Make sure you only use risk capital. And if you could do me a favor, give the video a like, leave any comments below, and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. So imagine our surprise yesterday when we came across all the images on X talking about tax fraud and assault. And people that know Richard Hart is he is a giving person and a person that's always trying to put people on. And for me, the first thing I thought about is this is kind of coincidental or ironic considering that the SEC case is almost done. The SEC case is pretty much almost done. It seemed like it's a slam dunk win for Richard Hart because there's no jurisdiction in the United States. So it seems like the lawyers are going to, his 11 lawyers, by the way, are going to find a loophole for him to win. Sounds like the judge is siding with him. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we got some trumped up charges from Finland. And I feel like the United States, in a backdoor way, is trying to get Richard Hart in trouble through Finland. So this is why this kind of popped up. Oh, we're gonna snitch on him. Well, if we can't get him through the U.S., we're gonna get him through another government body. And if we go to Gronk, I said, did Richard Hart often refer to sacrifice funds for PulseChain as donations? And it says Richard Hart indeed referred to the funds collected during the PulseChain sacrifice phase as donations. This terminology was used particularly in the context of supporting the SENS Research Foundation. Posts on X from Richard Hart himself mentioned that the sacrifice phase generated substantial donations to the foundation. Additionally, web sources discuss how this phase was framed not just as investment, but a political statement of support for free speech and movement. Although critics argue it was a strategy to sidestep legal regulations by avoiding the term investment. So I cannot emphasize this enough. The term sacrifice was smart and well thought out because Richard Hart, again, he's the type of person that's always two steps ahead. By framing this as a sacrifice or a donation, it essentially is not it's not taxable, as this is not his money. This is kind of like the people's money. It's for the donations. Now, again, I'm not a legal person, but based on the way he has framed the phrases and the words, that is huge for him. And it also gives his legal team something to point to. And also kind of all the good he's done in the world. So let's go to Richard Hart's page here. So there's a couple of things I want to look at. So he says, my whole life I've been preparing for the future, anticipating it, creating it. I've never been safer, and I'm excited for the future. So again, he's preparing, always anticipating, always a couple of steps ahead. That's what people like Richard Hart, that's why they win. And it sounds like he's in a place where he can't be extradited because it sounds like he says he's in a safe place. The Honorable Justice in SEC versus me should have her ruling out soon. Donald Trump will be in office soon. PulseX, PulseChain, Hex, Inc. are all functioning wonderfully. This makes some entities mad because there's literally nothing they could do about it except be mad. It feels great to be wanted. Nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. So it sounds like Richard Hart is, excuse me, he's anticipating that the judge is leaning towards his favor. He's also excited about Trump being in office because he's a pro crypto president. If there's a positive light on crypto in America, it's going to bleed into other countries around the world as America looks to shift from that negative mindset towards crypto. And again, Richard Hart is innovative. He's two steps ahead. He has created his own financial system, and it makes people mad because they cannot benefit from it, but the people get the benefit from it. So I would say, like, don't be mad. Be like Richard Hart and try to find ways to put people on and to improve their lives, provide that financial freedom. People would rather keep their thumb on you and keep you down, whereas Richard Hart tries to lift people up. Nothing bad is going to come to a person who continually tries to do good for others. Okay, and then going up here, it says if the haters really wanted to get me down, they could raise more than 27 million. I did for medical research. So he raised 27 for medical research. Write free self-help books better than my Sci-Vive and Fix the World. Work in the course for legal presidents for P2P publishing software. Find things that work flawlessly and become valuable. Install bidets for their mothers. Nothing matters. Nothing makes haters angrier than success. Every time they think of you, it reminds them how they are not doing half of what they could. So and then he goes on to say here, I really do the best I can to make the world a better place. And I must say, the world can be pretty unkind to folks making a difference. First, they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Win is in my name, and winning is in my blood. Think about how much we're accomplished, and it seems like someone up above must want it to happen. So, again, Richard Hart is the type of person that's a winner. He wants to help others, and it makes people mad when they can't do half the things that he is trying to accomplish. Okay, and then again, this money here, this sacrifice money, this is the people's money. And imagine when the plan is executed, Ethereum gets to all-time highs. He uses those sacrifice funds to pump the chain. It's game over because he's going to have he's going to set a lot of people up financially free, something that a lot of political parties aren't trying to do. They're not trying to help anybody. And then again, looking over here, you'd have to make a decision far as kind of what's going on PulseChain, the different assets, whether you decide, hey, I want to DCA into PulseChain, PulseX, Incentive, RapBTC, DAI, Teddy Bear, you name it. There's a bevy of discounts. You can do nothing. You can essentially just kind of let it play out. And last night, financially, I didn't do anything. I just kind of just read through all the information and just chilled out, to be honest. Now, today, I'll probably scoop up some more at a discount, but you don't have to always have like a sudden move just because something happens. But another thing we also talk about in situations like this is be diversified. If you've been listening to my channel, I'm on different chains. I'm on Polygon. I'm on the Tom blockchain. I'm on Binance, Solana, Tron, you name it. I'm like all over the place because you can never anticipate what's going to happen. So it's always good to be in multiple assets on different chains just in case those unforeseen circumstances or black swan events happen. Oh, and then real quick, getting to the assault. So it looks like it was some sort of assault that was trumped up far as like a 16-year-old girl, but Sami, and actually we're just assuming, I don't even know if it's a girl or not, but Sami writes, Finland government expects us to believe that a 16-year-old girl got bashed by a billionaire named Richard Hart, and she didn't upload it to social media to immediately get her $100 million payout. So it seems kind of fishy that this just kind of came out of nowhere, and the family hasn't tried to settle out of court. And, I need more context behind this. Like, what happened? What was the situation about? So I need more context behind this assault thing, but it seems like it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big deal, and then all of a sudden, this just pops out of thin air against Richard Hart. So again, this is a backdoor way to hurt Richard Hart because people are mad at the greatness of Richard Hart. So that's kind of what it boils down to. So I found this kind of interesting. Now, and again, there hasn't really been any photos circulated or nothing like that that I am aware of, but feel free to leave a comment if you've seen something. But nothing. All of a sudden, boom, out of thin air, here's an assault charge against. And it sounded like it was more. It sounded like read some stuff where somebody was bloody and beat up. Now there wasn't any photos, but that's kind of how the report read. So we'll see what happened with that. But essentially, this is kind of how we're looking. Everything in red. It could have been a lot worse. 30% and 20% pullbacks. This can recover. So I'll look for some continued red or bear movements between now and the end of the year. Going into 2025, that's probably when the run up is going to happen. I'll look for Ethereum to reach all time highs. Again, once Ethereum does its thing, even if it doubles, it's game over because those sacrifice funds, if this doubles, that'll be over $1 billion. That'll be $1 billion pumping back into the system and lifting this chain up, and it's game over. So, and then again, not to mention, DAI being pegged to $1, that's going to really, really help a lot of people financially. So, I'm excited for the future with PulseChain and wishing Richard Hart nothing but the best. So, I want to thank you for listening to this video, and thanks for stopping by.